Hello and welcome to the All Around Natural Beauty RN channel, where I'm passionate about helping victims of all ages and all genders overcome the fear of facing the abuse to become survivors. And over here, we do not do moments of silence. We do moments of speaking where we speak out the names of victims and we speak out the names of the abusers. And today, as y'all can see from the thumbnail, I'm going to be reacting to this a transgender teen, Jennings. And I remember this first, for those of you who don't know me, I'm 52 years old and I'm a proud Gen Xer. I'm a proud Gen Xer and I have over 30 years of nursing experience. Also, the proud mother of 3 adult children, 2 XY chromosomes and 1 XX. And I was first introduced, I remember talking about, or the Jazz Jennings, and this was way back in 2000. And the reason I have a special place in my heart is because my youngest son, my youngest XY chromosome is born in 2000, that year. So they're the same age. And I know yesterday I had said I was going to be, more for women. However, in the beginning, y'all know I've always said that that I have a special place in my heart for men because I have 2 sons. So I can't be, all, abashed men or any of those kind of things, right? We have to, learn how to love each other because we couldn't exist without the other one, y'all. So we can't just be, women hate all men or men hate all women and stuff. We got to find something here. And this here really touched me because I remembered back in 2000, just a brief moment. And then fast forward to 2019, I saw some life special or something. Anyway, like I said, y'all, I'm 52, so I don't keep up with this TV stuff. So anyway, I saw in 2019, one of those series where they, follow people around or whatever. And it was the jazz person, a transgender kid, right? And hey, Sharon, hey, welcome, Sharon. So I'm watching it, and I immediately identify this is abuse. Like, this is abuse here. Munchausen Syndrome by Proxy is a serious something. And anyway, so I was praying, I only watched about maybe 3 episodes or so, but the talk was coming up about doing this gender reassignment surgery. And I was going to try to reach out to, try to warn the kid because, the age. But since I was late to the party, like I said, it was 2019. By this time, these were reruns. So I was too late anyway. So this video I'm about to show y'all, it was really heartbreaking to see where we're at today in this society and how the government, just even in the world, all around the world, the agenda is to add another a letter to the alphabet, a P. They're trying to add a P, y'all. And so we need to wake up on this here. They're doing this transgendering to children. And this here was documented for everybody to see. So like I said, I'm going to be real quick because I wasn't planning to do this. I just saw this video this morning from the algorithm is feeding me this stuff, y'all. These poor kids need a voice too, women and children, just victims, like I said, victims of all ages and all genders, because this here is such a clever way to abuse a person is because, anyway, let me just let y'all see the video and stuff. Hey, Karen, what's going on? This is serious, y'all. And this is something else that we could be bringing to, another cause, a platform anyway. So I'm just so super excited. Did I say that here? Thank y'all so much for coming. This here is ultra serious. What's up, Karen? Karen says, at All Around Natural Beauty RN. Good afternoon. Welcome, everyone, and thanks for joining. If you don't mind, please hit the like and subscribe button as you enjoy the commentary. Good. All right. So this here is good. And I got the bones up here because I'll throw that in here for just to actually tie all this stuff together, y'all, because I've said it before about what this thing is here all about. So our first video is going to be like I said, this new subscriber. And if y'all haven't already, registered to vote and check the Republican box and vote for Nikki Haley for president. Nikki Haley for president. No more geriatrics. We getting them up out of the house. It's time for us Gen Xers to, get back control. I mean, all this stuff is going on. What they're having, they're at the schools and they're introducing all this hypersexual stuff to our children, and it's something. Anyway, so this here came across and just broke my heart because like I said, my youngest son is born in the year 2000, and this jazz person, hold up, was born in the year 2000. So let me share the screen with y'all, and we gotta our and then the sad thing is that this is not the only child that's been been abused and been wow, folks able to get away with doing this to children. All right, so, and then I'm gonna, after we get through this video, I'm gonna go over the definition of the Munchausen Syndrome by Proxy. If y'all haven't already gone and Googled it, so you can see this, because a lot of children suffer and nobody does anything about it because it's so covert, the way the abuser does it. All right, so here we go. This here is by I just saw this person this morning. The offensive tranny. All right, so the offensive tranny is saying, I wasn't forced to transition, reacting to proud trans activist Jennings, and that's this individual right here. So here we go.
Transgender woman. My parents didn't force me to be a girl. They didn't encourage me. They just supported me and embraced me for who I am.
Oh, so for those of you who don't know, the transgender is identifying with a sex that's not your own. Like there's two. There's XY chromosome and XX. The argument is that these individuals, if they are born an XY, like this individual is born an XY and states they identify as an XX. So, and that's what this is happening here.
About a month ago, the former trans kid star Jennings went viral on the internet for saying this.
I think I'm kind of breaking down a little bit and spiraling into negativity. I just want to feel like myself. Like, that's it. I don't care. All I want is to be happy and feel like me, and I don't feel like me ever.
Many were worried.
Now, did y'all see how the mother was cutting her off while she was trying to talk? Right? Those are subtle abusive signs. She wouldn't even let her talk. I'm just surprised that this thing is still going on. Like I said, 2019, I watched about 3 episodes of it. And the kid was in middle school, playing on the girls' soccer team. And it was amazing. Like it was looking like David Beckham out there on the field because, you know, it's an XY chromosome. So I'm just thinking like, you know, but then the fast forward that, you know, and, you know, wow. Okay. So let me just let this go.
Worried when they saw that clip and wondered if Jazz was going to detransition or not.
Detransition, that's not, you can't do that. There's no such thing as transitioning, first of all, and there's no such thing as detransitioning. So let me just take a little quickie break real quick, like, and show y'all the reason why. All right, so up here is our skeleton, right? So if we found skeletal remains in the woods, if they found skeletal remains in the woods, they can tell by those skeletal remains if they are the skeletal remains of a male or female. And the reason why is because our skeletons are the foundations of our bodies, and that is something that cannot be changed. It is decided upon conception. Either you are an XY, which is male. Oh, wrong way. That's the male over there, XY, or XX, which is female. Ta-da, right? Those are the ways that they are able to know the difference, because you can have a really tall XY, which is a male, and you can also have a really tall XX female, but the skeletons are going to be different, right? Because that's how we were designed. And the reason why this part of the skeleton is how they can tell is because the pelvis of a female XX is designed to carry children. And that's why we have this design. If you look over here, see, look at that big old bowl. See that big old bowl over there? That big old bowl. That's the XY, female. It's big like that because the baby got to come out of there. So it's got to be 10 centimeters so the baby can come out. Look over here. No space, right? See how narrow that is? This is an XY. This is the male skeleton. See, look at how prickly the vertebrae are, right? A baby can't be in there. It's too rough, too hard, right? They weren't designed for that. This skeleton allows the male to have an advantage physically because they're not trying to balance this here tilted pelvis and the S shape that is in the spine. Right here. See, this is a lady spine. See the little S shape in it? And see that pelvis, right? See how it's tilted? It's like having a little bucket, right? And that's how you could tell. You could tell that way. And you can't change that because that's your foundation. So you can get cosmetic surgery. You could get your genitalia mutilated and all those things, but you cannot change if you are an XY chromosome. You can't change that because that's your skeleton, right? It's just like I was saying before, you can't take the seats out of your Ford Explorer and put it in your Porsche. Can't do it because the foundation is not going to accommodate it. So let's get back on to this here person talking about Jazz. And all this stuff is tying in together too because he's going to get to it. Some government, it's some high-level diplomatic intervention stuff happening that's creating this environment that's trying to groom our children and our people. Like they're trying. Okay, let me just finish this whole video.
So a lot of YouTubers, including myself, made a video about this clip and also talked about Jazz's story because we think it's tragic. A 2-year-old boy said to his mom, "Mommy, I'm a girl." And then the mom was like, okay. A couple of years later, the family went to a woke specialist, also known as a gender specialist, and then the boy got diagnosed with gender dysphoria. When the boy was 11 years old, he received puberty blockers and never experienced his natal puberty. Fast forward, when the boy was 17, he received not 1, but 4 bottom surgeries.
What?
All this happened.
I didn't know that was legal. Again, Munchausen Syndrome by proxy. Having these procedures and all these things to be done to a child, that is a form of abuse.
To the individual because they
surgeries?
said
How is this right? As a minor, how could that happen? I don't know. I don't know. I didn't verify any of this stuff, but I hope that's not true. I hope that's not true because, like I said, I had watched a few episodes in 2019, and I think there was some talk about it. But when I was going to try to reach out to the kid to say, "Hey, you dress up or whatever like that, but don't cut off your genitalia," like you're gonna, everyone needs to experience, or have an opportunity to experience a sexual gratification or something. Like, don't, that's not right to, that's wrong in so many ways.
When they were 2 years old, "Mommy, I'm a girl, not a boy."
Wow.
Today, Jazz is an adult, and she's now finally responding to the videos that were made about her and her transition.
Oh.
It's really, really disturbing, some of the things that people have been saying. They've been jumping to conclusions about my life based on certain clips, and I just wanted to dispel a lot of those myths that are out there right now and let you know that I am an out and proud transgender woman. I am so...
Oh, did you see the face? I'm just going to pull it back just a little bit. Watch the facial expression. She doesn't believe it. It's like she's trying to convince us. I'm fine here, yeah. Like when you see the abused woman with the, busted up eye, and she gives you the, yeah, I ran into the wall, right? Making excuses for the abuser. Pull it back a few seconds. Watch the face. Look at the facial expression. And I left a link to this video in the description, right? I want y'all to understand, to learn how to look at body language and stuff too, so you can tell when somebody's not being truthful. Even victims, sometimes they may not able to speak up for themselves, and we need to know how to read body language. All right, so let me go back a little bit. All right.
Have been saying. They've been jumping to conclusions about my life based on certain clips, and I just wanted to dispel a lot of those myths that are out there right now and let you know that I am an out and proud transgender woman. I'm so happy.
Being sarcastic. I'm an out and proud transgender woman. Poor thing.
Be me.
I think it's perfectly natural for all of us to question your transition. First of all, you never got the opportunity to be a boy, which you were born as. But second of all, you were crying saying, "I don't feel like myself ever."
Yeah.
And that was after you being totally done with your transition.
Wow.
In theory, we have no idea why you were so upset and what you were crying about. However, you got to see where we're coming from.
So to help me do this, I have my amazing ally and brother, Sander. Hello. Hello. And he's going to show me some clips of things that I haven't seen, some things that people have been saying.
This particular clip makes me feel icky because the general vibe I get from I Am Jazz, the family's reality show, is that they're using Jazz as a puppet.
Ooh.
A trans puppet, you might say.
Ooh. Ooh. Good for him for saying that. Good for him for saying that, because I noticed that the few episodes that I saw, the in the beginning, look at the I was suspicious of the mom back in 2019. I was suspicious of the mom back in 2019 because, like, her parents, it seemed like they were just trying, they didn't want to like lose contact with being in the lives of their grandchildren and stuff. So it's like they kind of just bully. These abusers are good at bullying people. They allowed for this to happen. This is super sad, super sad, super sad. That they would do a surgery, not one, but 4 surgeries. You can't create those things. Look, it's not enough space. Look at the female design. Look at that. Look at the female design. Look at all that space in there. Look at that. It's not enough space. They're just going to mutilate your genitalia for nothing. You can't do it. Why would they do that to a child? At 17.
And I actually feel really bad for her in that way. So I just wondered, why couldn't Jazz make that video all by herself? It's a simple reaction video. Why did she need her brother's help? Is it because it was her brother's idea? I mean, when we're considering her bad mental health, I think it's a little bit cruel to make her watch videos about her that are not too positive.
But that's how they reinforce the abuse. Because if Jazz gets better, then that's going to be taking away resources for the entire family. So they all have something to gain off of agreeing to this delusion. This is wrong.
That's why I'm implying that it's not her own idea to make that video. Because why would she put herself through that?
I have no regrets whatsoever. I am an out and proud woman. I love being me. I love my body.
Listen to the voice. The voice sounds extremely strained. And look at, oh my goodness. All right. Listen to the voice.
An idea to make that video? Because why would she put herself through that?
I have no regrets whatsoever.
She's about to burst into tears. Like she's holding back tears. And they just putting her up to it. Go out there and tell them this. Go say this. Putting all the pressure to be an activist for a delusion, for something that can't happen. They cannot create a vagina. You don't have the foundation for it. If you are an XY chromosome, you are a male. When they find your bones in the woods, they can tell if you are a female or a male. They can tell if the female has had a baby. And it's because of this pelvis. This is the ultimate difference between male and female. That's it. And this cannot be changed. You can have fat deposited on this area here to make it look like a nice little lady tush, but it's going to have an angle shape to it. It's not going to have these curves. Because look here, circles. Ladies got circles. We just design different. All right. Like I said, y'all, this is going to be quick. I was not planning to talk about that. This came in my feed. The algorithm is feeding me stuff. It's other children out there like that need to be saved before they mutilate their genitalia. And then I just learned about this Dr. Money person. They've been doing this torturous stuff to children for forever. This ain't nothing new. They just documented it for some crazy reason, because back in the year 2000 is when this reality TV started to happen. And this was like, 23 years ago. And look how far we've come now to where like this is YouTube and everybody can have their own reality TV. This is unreal. This is unbelievable. I feel like I feel like Jim Carrey and the Truman Show. Like, what is this real? Even being fed this, because like I said, I stumbled across this in 2019. However, I do remember the this kid being highlighted back in like the early 2000s. Let me just go and get finished with this video so I can go sleep.
I am an out and proud woman. I love being me. I love my body. I love everything about being a woman. And that's just who I am.
I mean, I get.
She sounds upset. Let me see what y'all talking about over here. Y'all making comments over here. Thank y'all so much for coming with me. This all ties into a lot of stuff too. What's going on? Marie says hello, all around natural beauty, Irene and beauties. How are y'all feeling about this stuff? First of all, does anybody y'all know about or heard about this jazz kid? Or I guess now you have a kid, 23, or
get it. You think that you're a woman and you think it's just who you are because you haven't been anything else but a woman, or rather you haven't been living your life as anything else but a woman. If I'm being completely honest, and I know I'm not the only one thinking this, but I don't believe her when she says, I love my body. I'm proud of my body.
Yeah.
Jazz has gained a lot of weight lately, and that's a sign of her not having the great.
And what was up with those? Okay, I'm not going to go there. Yeah, he's right about this
greatest mental health.
Yeah.
And I think the timing is a bit weird, how she put on a bunch of weight after being done with her medical transition. I mean, you would think that the transition made her life so much better because it's a symbol of closing a painful chapter in her life. So why is she feeling pain after closing that chapter?
Good point.
But as you can tell in this video, she's losing a lot of weight, and I'm really happy for her. So let's keep on watching.
I just want to feel like myself. I mean, aren't there moments where all of us don't feel like ourselves? Like, I feel like me. I know who I am.
I just hear the doubt in her voice. And it really breaks my heart because look, it's almost like she's fighting back tears. Because I remember when my oldest son was 3. Oldest son was 3. This was in 92. And the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Turtle Pop was happening out at the time. Ninja Turtles was the thing. Ninja Turtles was the thing to be. Everything was about Ninja Turtle, Return of the Ooze. And anyway, so the Ninja, and when the Halloween came around, Ninja Turtle, Raphael was the one. People wanted to be Raphael. Kids wanted to be Raphael. Everybody wanted to be Ninja Turtle. All right, so I was balling on the budget, and so I couldn't afford the actual Ninja Turtle one, so I got the knockoff Tommy Turtle. Tommy Turtle was only $10 at Pick and Save. Pick and Save used to be a store. They changed to Big Lots. But anyway, back in the day, it used to be Pick and Save. And so $10 Tommy Turtle, and little man really was thinking he was Raphael because he used to sit there and watch. We had the VHS, the videotapes and stuff like that. He could watch the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles like over and over every day, a few times a day, right? That's what kids was doing back then because they didn't have iPads and phones and all those kind of things to be able to get all that. So you had to press the rewind and wait for it to go all the way back, press play again, and you get 2 more hours of quiet pleasure. Anyway, all that to say was that he really thought he was Tommy Turtle. He really did. He thought he was Raphael, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle. However, it was a Tommy Turtle outfit, but he was happy for it just the same. All that to say is that I wasn't trying to get him to tell everybody, he identifies with the Ninja Turtles. Y'all got, he's a kid. So it just breaks my heart to know that if a kid is saying, I feel like boy, and they are a girl, that you would go and give them drugs and tamper with hormonal balance. Medications weren't meant to be taken forever. They're supposed to treat a condition, and your body is supposed to heal itself and provide the right balance, the right chemistry to keep you in homeostasis. We're not supposed to be dripping drugs and hormones into people trying to regulate. That's impossible. You can't take over the brain. The brain knows when to turn up, when to turn down. Nobody got to tell you to breathe fast if you're running. Your brain is going to make you breathe faster. All that to say is that doctors who participate in this kind of stuff is wrong, because you took an oath to do no harm. 4 surgeries on a minor, on a minor's genitalia? What the hell? And there's no going back. I know that one kid in the beginning of this video said, I wonder if Jazz is going to detrans. There's no such thing. If you get an amputation, you lose your leg because you got sugar diabetes, and you wasn't being compliant. So anyway, you end up losing your leg. And you can lose it for other reasons too, like smoking. It causes problems with circulation. Anyway, you lost your leg. You can't go and say, I'm gonna go get my leg back. It doesn't work like that. You can get a prosthetic leg, however, but it's not a real leg. It's not a real leg. Anyway, all that to say is that you can't fit what you think you're gonna try to get. You can't do it. This is wrong. I believe if they had told these children what they were losing, because when I told my oldest son that this was the Ninja Turtle outfit, he believed it. And the green wasn't even the same green like the Ninja Turtle. It was a bright green. It was Tommy Green, Tommy Turtle. But in his little 3-year-old mind, he was Raphael. So if she's 3 or dude said 2, we going all the way to a surgery? What is that? Munchausen Syndrome by Proxy.
It's just in certain moments you kind of struggle or lose sight, and I think I might have said something that could be misinterpreted.
Oh.
Maybe a lot of people can relate to this. I personally can't. But Jazz, you gotta remember, you're different. Very different. You're not like everyone else. You have experienced so many unique things that most people cannot relate to.
And that's what encourages the entitlement that a lot of people in that community get, is because of all the attention. To me, Jazz sounded like an abused person trying to cover up, the abuse, No, and for anybody to think that, it was me and I'm the one, I had it coming type talk. Just listen to the tones of her voice. Sounds like she's fighting back the tears, like it's very emotional. Very emotional. And it's probably because they have tampered with your hormones. This is cruel. Your brain knows how to tell your body when to turn up the estrogen, when to turn down the testosterone. It knows exactly what to do, and there's no way that another human being can regulate for you, for your brain, what your body needs.
I'm only going to say this about Jazz because I know she's an activist, but I think it's a little bit ironic how she wants to be really unique. She wants to be perceived as different, special, unique, but at the same time, she claims that she's just like everyone else. Oh, don't you all know that feeling? I'm just like you. You can't have it both ways.
But she didn't know. You could totally tell she really probably does think everyone's just like her. Now she can't think that. This is so super sad. Yeah. Can't support
I
it.
struggle with a lot of mental health issues. I have really severe anxiety.
Fighting back tears. Why do you have anxiety? Because deep down inside, you know, your brain knows that you are an XY chromosome. And now they got it set up to where they got us scared to tell the truth, to speak the facts of math and science. And that's why I say XY chromosome, XX, and I show this here pelvis because whatever you do to do cosmetic stuff on the outside, you can't change this foundation. And therefore, you'll be able to look at people and know the physical differences between male and female, as far as like the arms are longer. That's why women have an issue with transgenders, men being in women's sports, because you have a tremendous advantage. Even if you're taking estrogen, your body is still built with an XY foundation, meaning that your bone density is going to be something different. Your muscle mass, the length, the amount of it. So anyway, I'm not going to even go into that's a whole other lesson. Let's go and finish this up. It's only a few more minutes. But this here is super, it's sad. This here angers me and need a voice because Dwayne Wade and what's the girls? There's a lady. Anyway, he's married again, and the children from the first marriage, he is torturing that mom by, changing, transiting the kid. And the courts are not protecting the child's right nor the mother's right. She's like, hands are tied, can't do anything about it. And to know that this child was surgically castrated at 17. Most children are still virgins at 17. Why are you messing with the child's genitalia? Why would you do that?
The time, and I suffer with depression. A lot of people think that my mental health issues have to do with getting the surgery or me being transgender.
Did you hear the tremble in her voice? Holding back tears. Look at this snarl. It's like, I'm so freaking pissed off and angry, but I can't say anything because I got all this pressure. I'm the voice for the community. They done brainwashed and gaslit this poor kid that this is abuse.
Munchausen Syndrome brought me joy and happiness. That was just one moment of me feeling like I lacked clarity and fluttered, and then it
was all my fault. You know, I snatched his phone and I made him do the thing to me. We all have a moment where we don't know who we are. We don't feel like ourselves.
Feel like I had the sense of self that I wanted to in that moment, because sometimes we all struggle.
Yeah, we do all struggle sometimes, but we haven't all been experiencing our parents taking away our ability to reproduce, to experience sexual pleasure, and to achieve great bone health. just because we said we wanted something, some type of medicine when we were children.
Yeah.
Jazz, in this clip where you're crying and saying, I don't feel like myself ever, you're expressing how you feel. And that's why a lot of us are concerned. Of course, we question everything.
Yeah.
We've seen you on TV for many years, and you're still not happy.
Like I said, I had, first saw it a few episodes in 2019. And when I kept saying that this was abused, I don't know. I guess I was kind of like feeling like, can anybody see like where this is going to lead? But anyway, wow. And here we are, fast forward, all these years. This is super sad. And then to find out the research on how they have been doing this, transgendering children, for centuries long. Like this is a thing. This is a thing. That's why if you're not already registered to vote, we've got to vote, people. 45% of women in America aren't voting. So register to vote. That's how we got to make our voices heard. Sitting around crying and whining about stuff and not using your voice. That's where the power is at, in your voice, not, protesting and all that stuff. Protesting with registered voters is more powerful than just protesting alone. So we've got to do more, y'all.
You don't like that. We're really worried about you.
That breaks my heart when people bring up my mother.
I'm a comedian, y'all, so if I make some jokes, charge it to my heart. But these boobies is crooked. All right.
In a negative light, because she has been such a shining star in my entire life. She has the hugest heart.
Wait a minute. I gotta pull this back. Her mom. Now this sounds like when the abuser uses the brainwashing tactics on you by telling them how much they're doing for you, how much they're sacrificing for you. I'm doing all this stuff for you. Then you have the victim defending the abuser, right? Kind of like the Stockholm Syndrome. Let me move right here. Right. It's my angel numbers 555. Wow. Like look like she's trying to sell us something. Look at the hand movement and stuff, right? Trying to convince the people. Yeah, no, my mom's the greatest. She's the greatest thing since sliced bread. Yeah. She just, she helped me to get liberated. Yeah. Because I didn't let my 3-year-old, he did wear the costume, y'all. He wore that costume for about 2 weeks straight. And I let him do it too, because he was my first, the first one, you really don't know as much, and you kind of let him get away with a lot more. But anyway, eventually he got the idea that he wasn't Raphael Ninja Turtle and was able to move on. Look how this is going on. So it's like, can she just say like, hey, I changed my mind, or I'm feeling better now. I'm feeling much better now. Did y'all see that movie, The Sixth Sense? Anyway, the one scene where he helps the ghost that the mom had Munchausen Syndrome by Proxy, and she had poisoned the kid by feeding it pine saw. Anyway, caused the kid to be unalive. And the line that the kid said, I'm feeling much better now. Anyway, so I was going to say that. And it seems like they're here.
Of light, because she has been such a shining star in my entire life. She has the...
Even now, look how she's just acting, right? You can see she really doesn't even believe it. She's just been my shining star. And through all of this, I can't think of a much more grander woman than my mother. Woo, go ahead and jazz it up.
Hugest heart, and all she wants to do is see me be happy.
Y'all hear that though? Can you hear the cry in her voice? This kid is in pain. And just like the typical abuser makes the kids feel guilty like this, where they protect the abusing parent. What y'all talking about over here? Sharon said, I agree with you, RN. They are giving the children a chance to decide what they want. Then introducing this stuff in children's TV shows and all. It's truly sickening. Yes. And Sharon, I was thinking too, I remember, like now they're doing this thing where they're calling it some kind of where the transgenders come to the elementary schools and read a drag show or drag time or some type of thing. I don't keep up with a lot of the stuff, y'all. Like I said, my kids are grown, so I'm just so grateful too. However, I can't just be like, well, my kids are grown, I ain't got to worry about it. The kids that are here now for the future kids and all that stuff. So like I said, over here, we're going to be dedicated to victims of all ages and all genders, right? Because even though Jazz here is an adult now, still is a hurt victim here that needs help and needs healing, right? Because we do know that there's a high rate of self-deletion in this category of people. And I believe that it's the people around them that is the narcissist around them. Ultimate goal is always to get people to self-delete.
To see me smile and to see me loving myself.
That's most likely true, but why did your mom take you to a specialist when you're only 5 years old to get you diagnosed with gender dysphoria just because you were a boy playing with dresses? Why did your parents think that something was wrong with you just because you were a boy playing with dresses, claiming to be a girl? The fact that they have to take you to a specialist, like you're sick, like there's something wrong with you. I cannot.
Yeah.
You were fine. It's so natural that boys.
And see, that goes to show more of the Munchausen Syndrome by proxy, because how extreme, right? I remember my little cousin used to walk around, he tried to walk around in the, ladies' high heels. Of course, he grew out of that, right? It's happened before. It's not like it's, a reason to take a kid to a doctor, get a diagnosis, and start putting them on medications. This is something that the people that suffer from the Munchausen syndrome by proxy do. They're always taking the children to the doctor, to the emergency room, having problems. The kids have lots of injuries or have all these mystery symptoms that they make the doctors and the hospitals run all these crazy tests on them, and it don't be anything wrong with these kids. And this here with the whole transitioning thing and with certain parts of the government being all for it because it's money. There's money in it, right? The pharmaceutical companies are making a ton of money. Can you imagine? They're prescribing all these hormonal drugs and stuff for, indefinitely for the lifespan of the individual who's on the medication. So you're going to be destroying your liver, your kidneys, all your organs aren't meant to metabolize these foreign synthetic things that your brain and body makes naturally. You're going to stop. Okay, let me, I ain't supposed to preach.
When they're 2 or 5, claim to be girls or wish that they had lady parts instead of boy parts. I blame Jass's parents 100% in this one, because there are other situations where the parents feel pressured into letting their children transition, even though they don't believe in gender and woke bullshit. But their children have been taught by the trans community to say, if you don't give me puberty blockers, cross-sex hormones, and surgeries, I'm gonna off myself. And that means that the parents are in an impossible situation, and I feel really bad for them. They're just afraid of losing their children.
Yeah, they do that on purpose, right? So they holding your children ransomed and making you choose to do this, or they're going to take your children away because you're putting your child in a position where they may self-delete because you're not allowing them to live out their, delusion. And when I talk about this, I always put these stories together. If you have a child and they have anorexia. Anorexia is an eating disorder where the person sees themselves as big, fat, their weight. They have an issue with their weight. So they starve themselves. They work out, they do a lot of things to lose weight that they don't even have, right? So if that child was to be presented to the doctor's office, we aren't trained to support delusional thinking. We would tell the child, we would bring them back to reality. No, you're not fat. We wouldn't go around and tell everybody, hey, look, patient A thinks she's fat. So, she identifies as fat. So make sure you call her fat. No, I'm sorry, morbidly obese. That's the correct way to do it. Hey, look, patient A says she's fat, right? So make sure you do that. The mother would be in trouble if she sent the child to school with no lunch and she went to the school and told them, look, she thinks she's fat. Anybody feed my child, you're going to have a problem with me, right? Who would support that? They wouldn't. Yet they support this. This here is evilness to its highest degree. Karen Brewer says, RN, I've been pretty good at keeping up with the series. She did finally have the surgery, but something went wrong initially. She was showing her mom what it looked like and inevitably was horrible. I wonder if that's in reruns. I'm curious. 4, that's a lot. That's a lot. That is a lot. Hey, Betty, what's up, Betty? Betty says, hello, beautiful RN. Everyone in the chat, how are you doing today? Yeah, this here is they're protecting the people that want to transgender these children. They're targeting these children. The talk is that they're trying to add another letter to the alphabet, a P. And they're trying to say, they're giving it a new name and stuff, like I've said before, how they change up the names and stuff and reintroduce things like it's something new. There's nothing new under the sun. Let's go and get this here finished up.
That she abused me, I think it's crazy. It's just crazy to me because I was the one who initiated my transition.
Did y'all see the twitch? I'm trying not to dissect it too much, but I just wanted y'all to hear this. I just feel bad for this body language and everything, but her soul is screaming.
I was the one who said, I am a girl. This is who I am. I want to transition. My
victims often blame themselves. It was me. It was my fault. I'm the one who said I was a girl. And, so she's taking responsibility for something that she said as a child under the age of 10. I bet you she doesn't even remember when it was said.
My parents didn't force me to be a girl. They didn't.
See, look at her face. Let me pull it back just a little bit. She's defending her parents because I'm sure they have been, really, look at all what we're doing for you. The whole family, everybody is gathering around you to support you. But they just made her scared.
My parents didn't force me to be a girl. They didn't encourage me. They just supported me and embraced me for who I am, as all parents should.
Yeah, you were the one saying, Mommy, I want to be a girl, and Mom and Dad, I want to transition. But that doesn't make it okay that your parents let you. Children cannot consent. I cannot say this enough.
He's right.
And you couldn't consent to your transition.
Yeah.
When someone can't consent to something,
That's wrong.
they don't have a choice.
Yeah.
Jazz could not consent to a transition, so she didn't have a choice.
Yeah.
Therefore, you can call it force. You can argue that her parents forced her into transitioning.
Yeah.
From a legal perspective, you can actually argue that.
Yeah.
But I do get where you're coming from. I don't think that your parents forced you into being...
Because she's been mentally abused. Stockholm syndrome. There's a lot of different syndromes and different situations that happen with the type of mental abuse. Mental abuse is worse than physical abuse because at least with physical abuse, you can see the black eye. But you can't see the mental pain that a person has endured by being belittled, called names, yelled at, bullied, intimidated.
Being a girl, however, they didn't even challenge you.
I don't know why people are so intent on bringing our community down. Why do you?
More rehearsed lines. Listen to the pitch in the voice. I don't know why. Oops, I didn't go back that far. It is wrong.
Intent on bringing our community down. Why do you care? Let us just be. Let us be happy. Let's be ourselves. We're not hurting anyone.
Are you kidding me? Your entire existence on social media, on TV, is about promoting gender transitions for children.
Yeah,
you're hurting children by putting puberty blockers into them, cross-sex hormones, and let them get surgeries. It is extremely hurtful to promote children transitioning, and something happened a couple of days ago that really proves my point. An 18-year-old biological male who identified as trans got bottom surgery and got the exact same type of bottom surgery as Jazz's. And it's very dangerous, very complicated. This 18-year-old didn't experience either their natal puberty, so they had a micropenis. And the length of the penis really determines the depth of the vagina. So they had to use some of the patient's colon in order to make the bottom surgery work. And unfortunately, the patient is no longer with us because of
what? The colon? These doctors doing these procedures, surgical procedures, open abdominal procedures to create something that they can't make. Cut into someone's colon? That's the GI, your GI tract, you open your mouth, right, and swallow everything that goes down your throat, your esophagus, into your stomach, to the small intestine, all your digestive system, right? When it exits out of your rectum into the commode, flush goes away. Within that is one long tube, but all together. Everything's all connected inside your body, but it's not inside. Everything that you eat, the waste system, we designed perfectly. We're so perfectly designed. That waste system is inside of the body, but it's not mixed in there. Everything that comes out, when it comes out, it's in the tubes, it's in the tunnels. It's in the tunnels. It does not mix in the inside of the body. The nutrients and all the things that you need from it is absorbed through. So it's filtered through, right? And everything else in there is poison. So if you cut the colon, that's poison, dirty field. That's the waste system. And this is what you were going to choose to make a vagina with? What were you thinking? That's malpractice. What were you thinking? Why would you do that? This is crazy, y'all. It's almost over. I got to sleep. I wasn't even trying to fight for this, but this is all tied in together. This is all tied. This is wrong.
Of that.
It's hard.
This 18-year-old probably got told that the bottom surgery would be life-saving. Well, it turned out to be the opposite. I wish Jazz all the best. I really care about her, and I really hope she's not regretting her surgeries and her transition in the future. I would really like to know what you all think, so let me know in the comments down below. And thank you so much for watching this video. If you want to see more content like this, remember to hit.
All right, so yeah, I watched. I think that I subscribed to this young person here, and I respect what he's saying here. This is all true, and good for him for saying something like that. And then to see that a lot of people are talking about Jazz again, and I see here Melanie B said she never heard of the show. Yeah. And so, and you see now, fast forward so many years later, and look they're doing it, And y'all, this kind of stuff has been going on for forever. Back in the day, there weren't women actors, right? Actresses didn't exist. Those were men that they dressed up as females to play the female roles. They're called castratis. And so it's nothing new. It's nothing new. And Hollywood has been trying to fool us, for all this time. It's just, I don't know.